You have probably heard someone joke about daddy issues. It sounds catchy, a little spicy and messy. But what if I told you that behind that slang is a chain of real childhood experiences that shape how a person trusts, loves, and even calms themselves? Hey, I'm Fatima, a child and adolescent psychologist. Today we unpack the real science behind the phrase, focus on the father's unique role, and give parents practical, evidence-based steps to prevent serious emotional fallout. This is for moms, dads, caregivers, and anyone who wants kids to grow up confident, resilient, and emotionally healthy. Pause for 60 seconds and think of one small thing you did this week that made your child smile. Keep that image in your head. We will build on that. Daddy issues is not a clinical diagnosis. It is a popular label for lasting emotional patterns that often come from problems in early child-father relationships. Scientific literature looks at attachment styles, paternal involvement, emotional availability, and parenting style. These frameworks explain how consistent responses, or lack of them, create secure or insecure emotional maps that kids carry into adulthood. In short, the phrase masks something important: early relational patterns that are predictable, measurable, and fixable. Ask yourself for 60 seconds, when your child cries, do you instinctively move toward comfort or toward rules? Pick one instinct to notice this week. Attachment theory says children form emotional bonds with caregivers based on sensitive, consistent responses. Fathers can be primary attachment figures just as mothers can. A father who is emotionally available, who soothes, who plays, and who responds predictably builds secure attachment. Secure attachment looks like a child who checks in with a parent, seeks comfort when scared, and explores the world knowing they have a safe base to return to. Insecure forms of attachment show up as clinginess, avoidance, or high anxiety about relationships later in life. The key is not perfection, but predictable, warm responsiveness. Take 60 seconds to notice your tone of voice when your child needs help. Is it calm and encouraging or rushed and critical? Make a tiny note to soften it next time. Research highlights some unique contributions of fathers. Fathers often push children toward challenge, risk-taking, and problem-solving through play. Rough and tumble play, playful boundary testing, and challenge-based interactions teach self-regulation, frustration tolerance, and social negotiation. Fathers also enrich language and cognitive skills through different types of questions and prompts. Emotional development benefits when fathers model emotion regulation and provide a secure base for exploration. Fathers are not substitutes for mothers. They bring different complementary strengths that together boost resilience and confidence. Do a 60-second experiment. Next playtime, offer a single, slightly harder game or puzzle than usual and watch how your child responds. Don't rescue immediately. Notice what they try. There is a big difference between being physically absent and being emotionally absent. A dad can live in the house and still be emotionally unavailable. Emotional absence means inconsistent attention, little warmth, few attempts to repair after conflict, or being present physically but mentally checked out. Studies show emotional absence predicts lower self-esteem, anxiety in relationships, and trouble with trust more strongly than mere physical absence. The takeaway is clear. Quantity of presence matters, but quality of presence matters more. For 60 seconds, write down 2 small ways you can be more fully present during the next mealtime. No phones on the table. That's it. Before we continue, don't forget to hit the like button. Research categorizes parenting styles that fathers commonly display. Authoritative fathers combine warmth and clear limits and consistently produce the best child outcomes. Higher self-esteem, better emotional regulation, and stronger social skills. Authoritarian fathers rely on strict rules with little warmth and often raise compliant but anxious children.
Help me!
Permissive fathers are warm but impose few boundaries, which can lead to impulsivity and poor self-control. Neglectful fathers provide neither warmth nor structure, and tend to create the most negative outcomes across the board. The simplest rule for parents: warmth plus consistent limits tends to work best. In 60 seconds, choose one rule in your house that feels inconsistent. Commit to enforcing it the same way for 1 week. Early father-child patterns carry forward. Teens who had secure paternal attachment show better emotion regulation, healthier peer relationships, and more stable romantic relationships later on. Conversely, insecure attachment patterns can look like chronic relationship anxiety, neediness, avoidance, or repeating unhealthy partner choices as a way of unconsciously reworking old wounds. Mental health correlations show higher rates of depression and anxiety where father involvement was low or emotionally absent. This is not about blaming fathers. It's about identifying patterns we can change as caregivers. Take 60 seconds and jot down one pattern you see in your child that you suspect might come from how you or another caregiver responded in the past. Naming it is the first step. Prevention is practical. Here are research-backed habits that build secure, healthy father relationships. First, responsive soothing. When a child is upset, respond quickly and calmly. Second, regular play that challenges. Play for growth, not passive entertainment. Third, emotion coaching. Name the feeling and guide the child through it. Fourth, repair relationships. Everyone messes up. A quick apology and rebuilding restores security. Fifth, coordinated parenting. When both caregivers present a unified approach, children feel safer. Sixth, presence over perfection. Small, predictable actions day after day beat grand but rare gestures. For 60 seconds right now, plan one doable habit you can do daily for 2 weeks. That could be 5 minutes of focused play, one bedtime talk, or a daily, "How was your day?" check-in. An unhealthy father can take many forms, and it's not just about being absent. Even if he is physically present, he can still cause harm in ways that are subtle or obvious. Psychology research points to 4 main types of harmful or abusive behavior. First, emotional neglect. This is when a father does not respond to a child's feelings, ignores them, dismisses them, or minimizes what they are experiencing. For example, saying,
"Stop crying, it's nothing."
Over time, children who experience emotional neglect struggle to regulate their emotions and often feel insecure. Second, verbal abuse. This includes harsh criticism, belittling, yelling, or shaming the child. For example, calling a child lazy or stupid. Even if the father's intention is to teach a lesson or give a wake-up call, children do not learn from shame. Instead, they internalize it. The long-term effects are low self-esteem, anxiety, and difficulty trusting authority figures. Third, physical abuse or coercion. This can be hitting, rough punishment, or using fear to control the child. Even minor physical aggression can impact attachment and how a child manages stress. Fourth, inconsistent or controlling behavior. This is when a father is hot and cold, sometimes strict, sometimes permissive, and rules are unpredictable. For example, promising playtime and then canceling often. Children in this environment may experience anxiety, struggle to trust relationships, and have difficulty planning. Now take a moment and honestly reflect. Have you ever done any of these unintentionally? Awareness is not shame. Awareness is power. Write down one small behavior you can change this week. One small change can start a big difference. Now, let's see what a healthy father looks like. A healthy father responds warmly and consistently, plays in a way that encourages challenge, talks about feelings without shaming, sets firm but fair boundaries, and models repair. He listens more than lectures. He celebrates effort, not just outcomes. He teaches problem solving, not avoidance. Most importantly, he is present in small ways that add up. Showing up for a soccer game, asking about a hard day, saying "I'm sorry" when he slips up. These behaviors build secure attachment and resilience. Set a 60-second timer and write down 3 phrases you will say this week that communicate warmth and predictable support. Examples:
"I see you, I got you, let's figure it out together."
Here is the 1-minute checklist to return to every day. Be present in at least one meaningful way. Respond sensitively when your child is upset. Play actively and challenge gently. Coach emotions with language. Repair fast after fights. Coordinate with your partner. If you do those 5 things, you are doing the work that science shows really matters. This is not about perfect parenting. This is about consistent, caring action that rewires patterns and keeps kids emotionally safe. Take 60 seconds and say out loud one promise you will keep for the next 2 weeks. Keep it specific, keep it small, and make it something you can do every day. Dads, real talk. If you weren't perfect before, that's okay. Perfection was never the point. What changes everything is one steady decision: to show up differently from now on. Here's how to do that in a way that actually works. Say it straight. A short, honest line like "I know I wasn't always here, and I want to do better now" can open the door. No speeches, no blaming, just the truth. Be reliably present. Small daily actions win. 5 focused minutes of play. A text that asks, "How was school today?" Or one bedtime check-in done every night builds trust faster than a big apology once a month. Talk and listen with feeling. Name feelings aloud. Say,
I can see you're upset. Tell me about it.
validate before you fix. Kids need to feel heard more than they need immediate solutions. Own the repairs. When you mess up, say sorry, fix it, and move on. Repair is what teaches safety. Be patient and keep going. Change compounds. 10 small days turn into habits, and habits reshape attachment. Right now, take 60 seconds and do 2 things. First, write one specific promise you can keep for the next 2 weeks. Make it small and daily. Second, write the exact sentence you will say to your child when you do it. Examples.
I'm here now.
Or
Tell me one thing that made you smile today.
set a phone timer for 60 seconds and write both down. The phrase, "daddy issues," sounds like gossip, but what it points to is real and repairable. The good news from decades of research is that predictable warmth, playful challenge, and emotional availability from fathers change trajectories. Start small, be steady, and remember, your child does not need a perfect dad. They need a dad who shows up, listens, and keeps trying. Start with the promise you just wrote. Today is the first small step toward repair. If you found this useful, save it and share it with a parent who needs some hope today, and subscribe for more ways to show up for your kids.